Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Spencer.
And
this is High Buy's Oscar Rundown. We're going to go through some of the bigger categories of the Oscars this year and give you our picks of what we think should and will win.
So this year was a really great year for film. I would say not a whole lot of subtlety, but a lot of big name, big budget, high level of production design kind of films, so I think it's pretty exciting.
I agree. That being said, the nominations are going to be really crowded, and I think that we did see a greater thematic variability among films this year, and that was really good to see. So let's start it off with Best Production Design.
Alright, so nominated for production design are American Hustle, Gravity, The Great Gatsby, Her, and 12 Years a Slave. What do you think?
I think that Great Gatsby's gonna take it. The costuming in that was amazing. Close with American Hustle. The plunging neckline business was almost just too much for me. But Her, I think, should win. I mean, Her had to create everything from scratch. They had to create an aesthetic that was futuristic yet relatable, and it just blew me away. It drew me right into the film, and it rode that line really well. So.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Her, in my mind, should win, though I also agree that it won't win. It was impressive in terms of creating a completely new world for the viewer. I really loved that. Though I think that in the end, Great Gatsby will take it. Baz Luhrmann, being a veteran in the film industry, has never had a film win a production design Oscar. So for that reason, and the fact that The Great Gatsby was just such a roller coaster visually.
Definitely. In every way. I mean, it always was just throwing things at you.
Going. Yeah, I think that Great Gatsby will take it.
So there you have it. We've got Great Gatsby winning it, but we think that Her should win. So for Best Original Score, we have The Book Thief, Gravity, Her, Philomena, and Saving Mr. Banks. What do you think?
So I really loved the score in Saving Mr. Banks. I thought it was really energetic. However, it took a lot of existing Disney music, so it wasn't so innovative that way. I think for innovation and mastery of music, The Book Thief and Her really stood out to me. Her especially because it's Arcade Fire, which I know you love.
Exactly. Arcade Fire soundtrack just really pulls you into the dreamscape of Her. Saving Mr. Banks, it was very Mary Poppins. It just didn't really strike out to me. I can't speak for The Book Thief because I haven't seen it, but it sounds like the consensus here is that Her should and will win.
Alright, so for Best Cinematography, the nominees are The Grandmaster, Gravity, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, Prisoners, Before Midnight, Captain Phillips, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, The Wolf of Wall Street. And
Gravity. So for Best Original Screenplay, we've got American Hustle, Blue Jasmine, Dallas Buyers Club, Her, and Nebraska. Thoughts?
This year there's just a phenomenal pool of writing in film. I'd like to talk about American Hustle and Blue Jasmine really quickly. American Hustle, I thought, was pretty flawless, pretty seamless, narrated something. It was an existing story, or at least urban legend. Blue Jasmine also was working off a sort of urban legend, current events kind of story, and did it in a really subtle, really sociological, psychological way that I thought was pretty impressive. So
I agree. I think that Dallas Buyers Club is also a close contender, but the problem with Dallas Buyers Club, at least in my opinion, is that the story was very disjointed. There were moments where you really could relate to the characters, and there were others where you just felt really lost as to where they stood. So I think we're going to have to go with American Hustle, will, and probably should win this. It was very well done, it was very tasteful, and it definitely carried you throughout the whole movie.
That being said, you're wrong about Dallas Buyers Club. So this year's nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Barkhad Abdi, Bradley Cooper, Michael Fassbender, Jonah Hill, and Jared Leto. I was personally, and I think most people are, very impressed with Barkhad Abdi coming in as an undiscovered actor, pretty unknown talent, extremely unknown talent, and taking on a pretty difficult role. I loved that. However, Jared Leto, for losing 40 pounds, really going to town on the drag act, not to undermine the importance of his role.
No,
I think he'll win. And I think he should.
You know, it's kind of difficult to tell whether all the makeup and the costume design was a production of his own or if that was help from the costume designer. But he did do an incredible job. There's some really poignant scenes in the film with him. That being said, I think that Jonah Hill really pulled out all the stops for Wolf of Wall Street. And he would be a close contender. But I think we're in agreement here that Jared Leto
will and should
would win. Best Actress in a Supporting Role: Sally Hawkins, Jennifer Lawrence, Lupita Nyong'o, Julia Roberts, and Gene Squibb.
Alright, so I think we're in agreement here. Jennifer Lawrence killed it. Jennifer Lawrence killed it. She was great.
J-Law, all the way.
J-Law.
You heard it here.
Alright, so the nominees for Best Leading Actor are Christian Bale, Bruce Stern, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matthew McConaughey, and... You were supposed to say this one. Could we cut... I'm sorry. I don't know. Our boy Chewie...
From 12 Years a Slave.
Killed it, just like J-Law. Well...
Different ways.
Different ways.
Fatboy Bale didn't really do it for me too much, but Leo really just knocked it out of the park.
I mean, they just don't stand up to our boy Chewie.
I just believe that Leo really created this character that is just famous in the American psyche, but at the end of the film you still didn't know him any better. I love that. So for actress in a leading role, we've got Amy Adams, Cate Blanchett, Sandra Bullock, Judi Dench, and Meryl Streep.
So I think that Cate Blanchett will and should win for her work in Blue Jasmine. She was incredible, just, oh my god, highlighted her talent like no other. Amazing work. Woody Allen. Judi Dench was also really great for Philomena. That was a heartbreaking movie.
Yeah.
But I think that what Cate Blanchett did was more impressive and took a lot more talent and effort, and I think she will and should win. Agreed?
Agreed.
Our nominees for Best Director are David O. Russell for American Hustle, Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity, Alexander Payne for Nebraska, Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave, and Martin Scorsese for The Wolf of Wall Street. And we have talked about it and are in agreement that we think that Alfonso
Cuarón
will win for his work on Gravity.
Because everybody just... for Gravity. So for Best Picture, we've got American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, and 12 Years a Slave. And it looks like this one's going to be a battle royale between Her and 12 Years a Slave.
I know that you really want it to be Her, but I don't even think there's much of a battle royale going on here.
Did I say
it's
Her?
Just like
I meant Her's going to win.
Sucker
Sorry.
Punch, 12 Years a Slave, done. Alright, so we want to just take a second to talk about the movies that weren't even nominated, but that we think could really hold their own in this year's field, starting with Adele Exarchopoulos for Blue is the Warmest Color. Amazing film, amazing performance.
Not a real name.
Snubbed because I just don't know how they would present that to the Academy.
It's not a name.
Also, the Coen brothers were not nominated for Best Directors for Inside Llewyn Davis, which I think was a huge snub. Incredible talent, incredible film.
Very true, very true. Also, Judy Delpy in leading actress for Before Midnight. That's just... It's a great movie about relationships, it's a great movie about love. She does it with a lot of passion. And we also have All Is Lost by Robert Redford. I mean, that'd be kind of like giving a medal to your grandpa. Just doesn't really work.
To your best friend, just like,
yeah,
here, buddy.
It'd just be weird, so... Yeah.
Alright, so...
This was our Oscar rundown. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys at the red carpet.